As the Handala hack goes viral, did Iran-linked hackers just turn some of Israel's most secret shadow warriors into visible targets in a single night? An Iran-linked cyber group now claims a historic doxing of elite Maglan Unit 212 officers, raising the stakes in the shadow war far beyond the battlefield. With the alleged identities of 100 Special Forces officers dumped online, has one of Israel's best-kept secrets suddenly been dragged into the open and put on notice? In a chilling message, Handala tells IDF operators that the hunters are now the hunted, warning there is no mask left to hide behind in future missions. As U.S. Iran ceasefire talks hang in limbo, a Tehran-backed cyber group has announced what it calls a historic breach inside Israel's special operations community. On April 26, the Handala group said it had exposed the data of officers from Israel's elite Maglan Unit 212, a unit usually kept far from public view. The hackers claim they have revealed the identities and personal details of 100 senior Maglan officers, including names, photos, and background information. Maglan is described as an elite special operations unit tasked with clandestine missions around the world, often operating deep behind enemy lines. Handala claimed this unit targets strategic assets such as missile systems and military bases, carrying out sabotage, intelligence gathering, and precision strikes. In a statement, Handala said, and I quote, "Once again, Handala has shattered the so-called impenetrable security wall of the Zionist regime by revealing the full identities and details of 100 senior officers from the Maglan unit for the first time ever." Maglan, one of Israel's most elite and feared special forces units, is notorious for its ultra-secret operations deep inside enemy territory. Engaging in covert missions, intelligence gathering, targeting strategic enemy assets, such as missile systems and bases, and participating in asymmetric and anti-guerrilla warfare. This unit has always tried to keep the names and faces of its officers hidden in the shadows, but today, the Resistance's shadows have brought them to light. To all Maglan officers, take this as a warning. From this moment, there is no mask left to hide behind. Your names, faces, backgrounds, and even your routes and movements are now in our hands, and every action you take will be met with the response it deserves. You, who for years hunted targets in the darkness of special operations, are now yourselves the hunted, targeted by the shadows of the resistance. This exposure is only the beginning. Handala is present at the very core of your so-called security, and even the most secret rooms are under our watchful eye. Prepare for the consequences. Your security is nothing but a myth now. Unquote. This latest claim comes amid a string of cyber operations that have targeted senior Israeli military and intelligence officials in recent weeks. On April 9th, Handala claimed it had deeply breached devices belonging to former IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi, in what Israeli media called a major embarrassment. The hackers said they collected over 19,000 images and videos from Halevi's phone, including material they describe as documenting secret meetings and crisis room briefings. In a warning message, Handala boasted that Israel's secret facilities, crisis rooms, maps, and command centers are now an open book to them. To back its claims, the group released photos and videos showing Halevi touring military bases, inspecting infrastructure, and meeting officers. Other footage shows the former IDF chief holding briefings and even working out in his office, suggesting prolonged access to his devices. Handala also published personal images from Halevi's family life, including what appears to be his wife's ID card, raising security and privacy concerns. On April 2nd, the Handala hacktivist group announced it had breached a company directly tied to Israel's air defense systems. The group says it hacked PSK Wind Technologies, described as a key designer and operator of Israel's integrated command and control networks. Handala claims it gained full access to data on Israeli command centers and critical defense infrastructure, not just a few stray files. The leaked material allegedly includes blueprints of communication systems and operational details of Israel's air defense network. The hackers say they have already passed this intelligence to resistance missile units to help plan future strikes with greater precision. In its statement, Handala warns that Israeli defense networks will no longer enjoy the level of security they once took for granted. The group calls this hack the beginning of the collapse of Israel's false sense of security, framing it as a psychological as well as technical blow. Handala also warns that no military system, however advanced, will remain safe from future cyber attacks by the so-called resistance axis. In its statement, Handala said, Israeli command centers and defense infrastructure will no longer enjoy their previous level of security. Future resistance operations can be planned and carried out based on the intelligence obtained in this attack. This is only the beginning of the collapse of Israel's false sense of security. No system, regardless of its technical sophistication or military-grade design, is immune to the cyber capabilities of the resistance. Unquote. Earlier, the same group claimed it had hacked the phones of Netanyahu's chief of staff and former PM Naftali Bennett, signaling a wider campaign against Israel's leadership.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.